Well, in a speech, Donald Trump, of course, couldn't help but attack her. And he accidentally called her Nancy Pelosi. So she took that and she ran with it. And she called him out on it. And the Biden campaign took the clip of her calling Trump out and mashed it with Trump and decided to run an ad of their own with it. Biden saying, I agree with Nikki Haley. Side note, could it be more obvious that these people are two sides of the same coin? Joe Biden and Nikki Haley. I mean, come on. They're basically campaigning together. She's courting people from his party. He's using her in campaign ads. Could it be more obvious that the deep state is a uniparty? Nikki Haley and Joe Biden are the same exact person. Nikki Haley's just slightly more attractive. That's it. They have different genders, different races, and different letters by their name. They are the exact same person other than those three things. Well, Biden ran with it. Go ahead and play the commercial here. It's under Dementia Wars. There you go. Yeah.
Last night, Trump is at a rally.
You know, Nikki Haley.
And he's going on and on mentioning me multiple times as to why I didn't handle January 6th better.
Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people. They don't want to talk about that.
I wasn't in office then. They're saying he got confused.
You have voter ID to buy a loaf of bread. You have ID to buy a loaf of bread. What? What is? I'm driving over a road where it's almost all paper. And you know, you can see paper. I know paper. I know cans. But all the time now we see whales washing up on shore because of the wind. Our veterans don't have cell phones, do they?
He got confused. He got confused and said he was running against Obama. He never ran against Obama.
And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, you mean President Biden. So,
Don't put our country at risk like this.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Okay, so I am not a...
Was this real?
It was a real ad, yeah. I am not... I'm sure Biden does approve of that. I am not a political strategist. I have never worked on a campaign. I don't want to work on a campaign. I've never claimed to be this expert political science. No, that's not me. That's not who I am. Let me give you this unsolicited advice, though, which, by the way, airs every Monday on this show at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, wherever you get your shows. So let me give you a little bit of free game here, Joe. I don't think comparing cognitive states is a road you want to go down. I don't think that accusing the other person of having dementia, that's more or less what they were implying there, is a good strategy for Biden's campaign. This is like if Chris Christie would have come out and said, look at how overweight and fat Trump is. Look at this slob. He can't even make it up the stairs without getting winded. Hey, Don, why don't you eat a salad? Like, could you imagine if Christie, because what do? You open yourself up to that same criticism. Have you ever heard of the slogan, the pot calling the kettle black? If you come out and say, hey, this guy's fucked up in the head. He's clearly in cognitive decline. He's losing his mind, which, by the way, you can put the two next to each other. Trump is clearly much more with it than Biden, objectively. But if you're going to come out and say that, you better have your P's and Q's together, right? You better mind your P's and Q's. You better have your shit in line. I better not be able to take 5 seconds to pull up a video of you forgetting what job you have, or forgetting the name of your wife, or how many grandkids you have. Oh no, that wasn't an accident. He knew exactly what he was doing on that one. I better not be able to pull up, Mia, play that video again. I better not be able to pull up this video. The speech one, the dementia speech one from the last segment.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
There shouldn't be just an endless array of videos just like that one that I can pull up at any given moment on my computer at home. If you want to go down the dementia route. So you know what's funny about this? I know everyone says every time Trump makes a blunder, he's playing like 15-dimensional chess or some shit. I don't believe that. I think he misspoke, and I've done that. I've called someone the wrong name and rolled with it before. But I don't think Trump was playing 8D chess. But what I do think is that he accidentally just may have thrown out the whole insurrection case. Here's why. He kept saying Nikki Haley was involved, or Nikki Haley was in charge of the January 6th security, right? That's what he kept saying. Nikki Haley, obviously she wasn't. She didn't hold office. He was talking about Nikki Haley. I'm sure he was going on that tangent. Nancy Pelosi was. Now, mind you, the entirety of the insurrection argument against Trump for January 6th is that he didn't provide adequate security on that day. Well, the mainstream media has now come out in droves to correct him, saying Nikki Haley wasn't in charge of security, Nancy Pelosi was. So wait a second. If Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security, that means Donald Trump wasn't. If Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security, that means Nancy Pelosi saw what she perceived to be this great threat to our democracy and didn't provide adequate security. And if your entire argument that Donald Trump is guilty of insurrection is that he intentionally was lax on security on January 6th, that kind of goes out the window when you acknowledge that Trump wasn't in charge of security on January 6th. So if anything, by their logic, Nancy Pelosi is guilty of insurrection. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you can actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.